I thought to just give you a quick video to remind yourself of what really is important as a leader. If you really want to drive people to the furthest extent, if you want to drive high performance, if you want to build culture, if you want to build a lot of goodwill, guess what? It's not just about how much you pay them or giving people a secure job. It's about you really creating the environment through your leadership for those people to want to stay on despite other people potentially offering them more money or giving them more incentives to move across to the other company. Most people are driven by other things than money only. And if we start to say that those people went away because they couldn't resist, the good offer, the package that they offered over there, guess what? You're missing the point, because really, if you can incentivize people more through the environment you create in your present role, even though it may not be the best paid job at all, then you're suddenly making more inroads. I've personally worked for a company like that, and I knew that I would actually turn jobs away for the money. Because me, like many other people, we are driven and motivated if we're inspired. And so the question is, how do we go about it? Again, as a quick reminder, let's have a look here behind me. Very often we like to believe in our Western world that everything is about the brain. And we think about, we need to create great strategies, we need to create a beautiful sort of mission statement and vision purpose and all of that sort of stuff. Guess what? At the end of the day, that's good to have, but we can only flex this muscle over here as good to the extent that we're actually leveraging the other muscle down here first of all. And so, what it is we need to find more ways to allow ourselves as leaders to feel certain ways, to induce a state of flow within ourselves first, so that then we can also influence other people to do the same. We sometimes say that people don't want to know, don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. And so your care is on the feeling level. We all know that science today has demonstrated multiple times again that there's more information collected around the heart and feeding back to our brain than there is, let's say, information coming from the brain down to the heart. So the mere complexity of the heart is currently already vastly demonstrated. So the question is, how much do you tap into it? If you are in an environment, for example, where a lot of the job requires thinking, and you're in an environment surrounded by other people that think a lot because you're problem solvers, you've got pressing problems, you're putting out fires all the time. Yes, of course, your brain will help you to fix things, but only to the extent that you've actually freed yourself up first about the things that hold us back. We know that the brain, for example, if you're not necessarily feeling secure, if you're not necessarily allowing yourself to move past judgment and casting that you're really stuck in the more primitive parts of your brain, which then shut down the cerebellum with all of its creative thinking power. Now just think about what that means for a moment. It really is starting here first. If you feel secure in your relationships, if you allow yourselves to build strong relationships of trust, first by giving it, and obviously building capability within your organization, then you start moving past the crocodile brain into the limbic system. Again, if you've induced a state of flow that allows you to feel more positive feelings most of the time, then you're accessing the third part, which is the cerebellum. That's where your brain really gives you all of its creative juices for you to leverage in your business. So that muscle here really works only to the extent that you've neutralized negativity, that you also almost balanced out too much elated emotions. So keeping yourself in a state of flow, or call it equanimity. Not too elated, not too deflated, but creating yourself in a state of flow. I always say that feelings are feedback to us to say whether we're on track or off track. If we're in a state of elation, that is off track, meaning too favorable. If we're in a state of depression, we're obviously all the way down the bottom and too negative. So it's not either or of those, it's the state in the middle that allows us to have high performance at work. First of ourselves, we always say as leaders that we need to walk the talk. How can we ever inspire other people if we, deep down in ourselves, are not inspired. So it's about us developing the habits, which means meaningful activity that we do daily to keep ourselves in the flow, so that we are performing in equanimity, so that we are inspired and that we can inspire others as well. Again, the feeling is the way, is the highway for us to leverage the thinking muscle over here. Muscle over here working together with these together, that's when you create unity, that's when you create leverage, and that's, my friends, is where you will become a highly inspiring and sought after leader that keeps people, whether the going gets tough or not, whether you are the best paying or not, doesn't matter. When you inspire people, people will stay on and work with you. They will give you their free time. They will give up personal things. They will stay in the course longer just by you becoming a source of inspiration that sees the good always in them, that always gives them opportunities for growth, that feeds them with positivity, and also is happy to have the conversation in a constructive way to provide them the feedback that everybody is seeking, and always do it in a way that actually builds people. That's where the magic happens. My name is Bram. I look forward to seeing you. Thoughts or questions, please post them below. Thanks.